You guys ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to the October 14th special meeting on the budget. Please rise and salute the flag.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Morton.
Here.
Councilwoman McMahon. Here. Councilman Niles.
Yeah.
Supervisor Molino.
Yeah. All right, we're here to go over the budget and to move it to preliminary if we don't find anything else that we need to change. Anybody got any questions?
I did have one question. On the summary, you know how we put the 20,000 into the joint? It's on page 4. General expenses. A 7310.4 for the youth contractual expenses, 20,000. Do we need to label that? Because is that part of that, the youth sports program that,
Yeah, do we have to be more specific, right? Do
What's the answer?
we have to be more specific of exactly where that money's going?
Well, I've got that question right here that I'm gonna ask.
Oh, okay.
oh,
You
okay,
don't generally designate the line title for where it's going. I mean, that is the title of the line from the comptroller's office.
okay.
Yeah, not the 20,000, the other line,
The other line,
the 13.
The 7320.4 shows joint youth
mhm,
and 7310.4
.4.
is just youth contractual expense.
Whoa, you losing me here. We're on 7320.4.
That's just the old one. Here's the new one.
The white one. Page 4.
My suggestion would be, don't spell it out more, so we can do what we want with it.
I just wanted to verify whether or not we needed it spelled out, but I knew we had talked on May 6th meeting about putting 10,000 in for the youth sports. But there's no resolution or anything like that that was made. I didn't know if that,
But you got 20,000 in there now.
right.
And what are you gonna use
I'm
this?
not asking for putting more, I'm not asking for anything extra. I'm just asking, do we need
No,
to
I want
label?
to know why you're putting 20,000.
You want
Why?
Program?
Yeah,
Who's gonna run it?
well, that's the next step is to decide. I already got an email into Mary, whether we set up a town youth commission. I talked to Jim a little bit about this. And appoint somebody as a board to the town, or use what used to be the Booster Club. And Manny, you can speak to this a little bit more. They've dissolved their previous organization and are reforming so that they're eligible for more grant funding and things of that nature.
So what do they do with the 5,000 we gave them earlier?
So they actually, I meant to print this out. That 5,000 was only good for, because it came from Octax, putting on tournaments that are gonna bring in people from other areas and stuff like that. They just had one last week or 2 weekends ago. That was a really good, great success. And I was on Facebook the other day. And somebody from, I want to say the last name's E2.
E2, that's a supervisor at large from
Queensbury. Just put on Facebook, they host a cross-country tournament with schools using Octax money. And obviously it's Queensbury, so it's much larger scale. But 100 schools, something of over $1 million in economic impact. basically using the same ideas that we had here, but at a much larger scale. But where we want to get to. Ideally,
The $5,000, we already gave them that, right?
that was last
Last
year.
year.
So
Last
that was
year's
for
OpEx.
2025.
Mhm.
Okay,
So at the May 6th meeting, it was suggested, because they were asking for more and. They were told that, well, we don't have it in the budget. And that we would try to look to see if we can get that into the budget. And that we would put it in the budget for 10,000 into the budget. And then when we put the 20,000 in, I didn't know, I was assuming that it was part of that 20,000 would be going to that. But I didn't know if it had to be specified.
yeah.
Well, I think it has to be specified because, who's gonna be spending that 20,000?
Well, it's there. We needed to get it in the budget now for next year.
Well, that's my question.
So it's there.
Spending.
Well, that's the next,
I don't think that's not set up yet.
yeah, that's the next part. Which we've already started. Like I said, I reached out to Mary, Jim and I talked about it. I sent Jim basically a rough draft of bylaws if we were going to do a town youth commission, which he had some concerns about. So that was, again, that's the next step that we go through to set. We can do it one of two ways. We can set up a town youth commission where we appoint somebody. And they go through and, report, regardless, they're going to report back to us, but the town can have much more oversight in that way. Or we can essentially outsource it to the booster club. For lack of a better, it used to be the booster club, which already, they have their own election of officers and things like that. Regardless, I think it's probably going to end up being the same group of people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how we go about, making people more comfortable with how it's formed.
Another way, it might not be practical because I don't know how the existing organizations are set up. Another way might be just have them come to the town board and say, we'd like to get $5,000 of that slice. Or outfit come, well, we'd like to get $4,000. This is what we want to do with it.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's practical with the goal of this $20,000.
Well, in the past, I did have some concerns because I was on the youth commission with Hadley and Luzerne. And if they do go the avenue as starting up the Hadley Luzerne youth commission, then part of that money that they'll be asking will also be going for salaries and things like that, where right now they're 100% volunteers doing it.
Yeah.
And all the money that we're giving them is going for the youth. It's not going to,
That's the 13,000, so.
no. We're not talking,
That's
that's Gene Cieslak's program. That's the joint program,
You're talking town of Lake Luzerne.
the town of Lake Luzerne. Right now, that youth contract that we have, the 20,000, that's the money we're talking about right now. I'm not talking about the joint.
Okay, so the joint is staying the same, so.
That's staying the same. And that's
Do it to 20?
the 20,000, that's where we're talking Lake Luzerne, the Booster Club, when they came in last May. And they're trying to set up different sporting events that bring in like round robins and what are they called?
Yeah, the tournaments.
The tournaments,
That
that's
they
it.
were bringing in. They were using that for occupancy tax. The main problem we have right now in Luzerne, as far as youth sports is, there was zero town support. Zero, not a dollar spent on it, okay? It all went towards the Hadley joint program, which I'm not knocking. That's a great program. It has its place. But like I showed you in that other sheet, other communities spend a much higher percentage of their budget on their youth programs. And for good reason. They want young families, they want to attract young families. They see the importance in investing in the youth. I'll give you just a quick example, and this is just one that irked me at that tournament last week, so it's fresh on my mind. 9 different schools came to that tournament. One team didn't have jerseys. Had to go to Corinth to get their jerseys from the Corinth youth program. And that was Hadley Luzerne, or Lake Luzerne. That shouldn't be a thing. We shouldn't be relying on other communities to support our youth. So that $20,000 is going to go towards investing in the youth. No, it's not completely figured out yet. But we're in the process of
We
doing
already
it.
gave them 5,000 at the end of last year, or the beginning of this year, 5,000.
For
Why
tournaments.
shirt with that?
Because it was OCTAX money. I mean, if you remember, and we can check the minutes, you were fighting us tooth and nail on that, making sure that it was only spent on those tournaments that can bring people into the town. So we did that. They did that. They followed that by the book, spent it only on the tournaments and stuff like that. But uniforms, clinics, things like that, we can't necessarily spend that sort of money on,
Yeah, those,
or that type of money.
there were guidelines.
That's
There were a lot of
the
rules.
guidelines.
Right.
Yeah. So we were trying to do that by the book with the file.
I'm still not even sure if that 5,000 is legal enough. It's very vague in the spending of OCTAX money.
Well,
We did it.
whoever Mr. Etu is, just blasted it all over Facebook about how much money it just brought in for putting on that cross-country tournament. So they're being pretty open, spending on sporting events, and I think I brought this up last year when we talked about it. Lake George, I think it's Lake George, it's one of the communities here in Warren County, also puts on a major lacrosse tournament during the summertime. And I don't play lacrosse, I've never played lacrosse. The only reason I know that is because I own a summer business. And every year I get anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 worth of business from families that are going to that lacrosse tournament. They're up here for the weekend and they come looking for stuff to do. So it's working, it's bringing people in. And that's been a consistent thing for the last 5 to 7 years that I can remember, possibly longer, where they bring a ton of people into the community for these sports tournaments, youth sports tournaments.
I kind of envision something similar to what we do with the Lake Luzerne Association to keep track of our watershed, where an organization would come to us and give us a pitch. And we divvy the money up based on that.
Mhm.
Because right now the organizations are not active, right? Well, one probably is. The other one-
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the Booster Club is very active with a core group of people who
Who set up that tournament? That was a couple weeks ago,
are, BJ should get the credit, BJ Lent.
and it's not really an organization, right?
Well, it's the Booster Club,
Oh, it is.
and yeah, and she's a big part of the Booster Club.
I mean, somebody had to write out a few checks to buy something or do something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, Annie can speak to that more than I can, but there was a lot that went into that.
I keep telling you this, but living in Clifton Park, I saw the effect of these big tournaments. It's overwhelming. I mean,
Mhm.
again, Clifton Park is 10 times, 12 times bigger than we are. But there's no doubt in my mind that soccer tournament they have there in the fall brings in millions. They have like 500 teams come to that thing. Don't quote me on the number. But they
Mhm.
have 12 or 15 fields that are going solid for 3 or 4 days. It's huge. Every place within 50 miles of there,
Right.
every hotel is booked.
But
Yeah.
that group they're doing a lot. I mean, they are doing golf tournaments and they're doing basketball and they're doing soccer, they're doing volleyball, they're doing golf, bowling. It's not just, oh, it's just for basketball. It's not just one thing.
Yeah.
But they're pulling other schools to come in on a Saturday. Having it, at least they have the ability to use the school grounds.
Yeah.
So it's not costing them
Yeah.
for rent,
Yeah.
but it does cost for everything else.
So Clifton Park had the town field.
They had the town.
And they did use the school for some of them also.
Yeah.
The school campus and the town campus are right next to each other.
Mhm.
In fact, they have common roads that go through them, so we're good.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with that 20 grand as long as we kind of set up a little procedure at some point to
Mhm.
evaluate proposals or whatever.
Right, because I'm thinking that I like your idea, keeping it general in there, because this year they might need 10,000. Next year they might not.
Yeah.
And to come and present what they're looking for, what's available. We have the 20,000 in there. And on the first come, first served basis type thing. You know what I mean?
Well, that was my question. Who's gonna be watching that 20 grand?
I think the straight answer at this point is the town board.
The board. I mean, we're gonna either approve it or we're not, depending on how much is in there.
Similar to what we do with occupancy tax money. People come and they'll request X amount of money. We have X amount in the fund. It would be this, a similar process.
Do you think the programs would be primarily summer or 50%?
No, they do
year
skiing
round.
also.
Okay,
Nordic skiing and, yeah,
that's where I was headed, is there some winter stuff
Yeah.
that we could,
Obviously there's basketball that takes place during the winter. There's wrestling that takes place. These programs are already existing, just with no funding. So they're there, and then obviously there's the skiing that goes on. I had somebody approach me about, rowing. I don't do rowing, okay? I know nothing about rowing, but there's interest with people in the community. We have the rivers.
and the lakes.
And yeah, so there's potential there.
Yeah.
And I think anything that gets the community more engaged and stuff like that.
Wants people to come
it
in.
could be a win-win.
Yeah, I think it's good to have that there. And then, like you said, on a case by case basis, bring people in. If we think it's a good idea for the community, at least we have it there, so we're investing in the youth moving forward.
Yeah, it's funny how things go in cycles. I've been reading quite a bit lately about some of the stuff that used to happen around town 30, 40, 50 years ago. And there was a lot of stuff used to happen, different tournaments, winter activities,
Mhm.
festivals, and
Yeah.
log rolling contests. All kinds of stuff that just kind of died a natural death,
Mhm. Okay, that was the only,
Just probably doesn't
Question.
exactly answer your question, but
You're gonna leave the 20,000, the board is gonna control that money.
yeah,
what else we got? Anything? I already went over this with Colleen, so I don't have any questions.
So the only thing I see, and I'm not sure if I said this to you guys, I think I did last week, but I am still trying to, it's like pulling teeth, trying to find out about Northwoods and what needs to be in here for Northwoods.
Yeah, I saw your email.
I think Northwoods has got to be on here. Because that's how we're going to collect money, to pay this bond, but I don't have a dollar amount, I have a total dollar amount, but I need the loan payment amount that we're going to need to pay next. I'm assuming there's gonna be a loan payment next year that we're gonna have to collect taxes on and pay.
Mhm.
So Northwoods is, I'm still working. I'm not getting far, but
But that's only a district for those people to pay, not the whole town. But you're gonna have to put it in
It's
the
a
budget.
wash, don't forget that.
I'm just saying that really
Right.
is only just going to be affect the front page.
Yeah,
And so I'm just saying it's not on there yet.
245 in, 245 out.
It'll pretty much be a wash.
Yeah.
It's going to have to get added, I believe, to the budget, somebody should raise the taxes. I walked in there. That's why.
Yeah,
Just out of curiosity, the promotion in tourism, is that,
What page and what number? What page you on?
yeah, page 3. That's OCTAX, okay. That was my question.
you already know we're gonna get 60 for Actex? 60,000,
We probably, we don't
Oh.
know for sure we're
We
gonna
don't,
get any of
okay.
those numbers, so
okay,
but we have to get more than that.
the last I heard at the county meeting, which was 2 or 3 meetings ago. The projections,
It's down a little bit.
yeah, but it was still positive. Still more than last year,
Mhm.
but it wasn't as steep an incline as what they originally projected.
What did they base their original projections on? Just the weather?
Last year, I think.
Well,
Oh.
that's a hard one because it's only, it goes from July. About half of last year and half of this year in.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's a tough thing to project,
Yeah.
but they do a good job. We're always projecting up.
Do you
Mhm.
have those numbers?
I didn't know they want to talk, I don't.
I didn't bring them. We had them a couple weeks ago. One of the county board supervisors loves to talk ROI. Return,
Investment.
and pretty much every time he brings it up, he gets the same answer, which is a lot of the stuff that's pretty hard to quantify.
Yeah.
If you're gonna spend $10,000 to Lake Luzerne to bolster the youth tournaments and stuff, how much money is the town gonna take in because of that? You know, you need a dart, you need a dartboard, you're in the dark. You know what I'm talking about.
Mike Wild,
Mike, yeah.
Mike Wild. He always asks, when we have money that, well, what's the return on investment? Of course, I had everybody cracking up last year because I sit in the corner over there and I says, well, because Lake George wanted 50,000 for streetlights for Christmas. So he asked the question, what's the ROI on the streetlights? And I said, and everybody heard me, well, we'll have somebody standing there and ask everybody that goes by a pole, did you look at the pole? You know, you can't figure it out. You know, the streetlights are on. And if it costs you 50,000 to run them, that's what it's gonna cost you. People don't come for the street, well, they come sometimes for the decorations on them. They don't come to look at streetlights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a
Mhm.
hard thing to figure. How many people are gonna walk that pole, past that, all those poles that the lights are on? It's one of those things you just can't figure.
You wanna be sensitive though to that potential discussion.
The only, I mean, I'm pretty good with, the only, with the 20,000, do we have somebody in mind that's gonna run that program?
Yes.
You do?
Mhm.
You?
Nope. Not me.
Can you say who it is?
Well, I mean, immediately, again, if you want to speak to this, but BJ, the person who's been running all these programs for the last 20 years.
Are you asking for a board member to overlook? Is that what you're?
Well, somebody has to watch it, but
Yeah.
if you're gonna have somebody on a program, they're gonna get paid for the program.
Every dollar that goes out of here gets approved by the board,
Yeah.
this board.
Yeah. I mean, I have no problem being like a liaison type, between that. I'll take responsibility for it if that's what you're asking, Gene.
Well, it's a big nut. you know,
Yeah.
Plus the 13 we give to Hadley, you're talking, you're up to $33,000.
A fraction of what the other communities give.
Well, I can't worry about what other communities do.
I
I
know.
don't have to worry about this town.
Yeah.
Because everybody can't worry about what Bolton gets. They get $6 million to our 250,000. I can't compete with them. Even with
I had a bet how long it was gonna take you to bring up Bolton in this meeting. No, I know, I lost. I think. Just as a broader,
Bring it up 10 minutes ago.
as a broader outlook. As far as the future of Lake Luzerne, and I think, Gene, I think you've done a good job of this over the past 20 years. But the unfortunate reality is that industry that's going to create meaningful jobs, for example, like bigger sawmills or things like that, they're not coming back to Lake Luzerne. That's just a reality. And I think it's incredibly important. And the sooner we do this, the better. And the more we push it, the better that we pivot. And I think you've done a really good job of this. But pivot and focus on how beautiful of a community this is so that we can continue to attract people to live here. As the world changes, it's going to be less important to be living in the community that you work with remote learning or remote work and things of that nature. So people are going to be wanting to move to places that they just want to live. And amenities are going to be a huge part of that. And youth programs are a part of that to attract young families. And it's just one part of it. There's tons of other, the playground is another example of that. That's how we're going to bring people into this community. It's not attracting big industry or anything like that so that the jobs come in. Those are in other places. That was Lake Luzerne 100 years ago. I don't foresee that being Lake Luzerne in the next 100 years, but I do foresee Lake Luzerne with all of its natural beauty being a place where people want to live. And the more we can enhance that, the more we're going to increase the tax base, put money into the community. And I think that's really the avenue that we need to go, personally.
You're 100% right. Businesses, and I've talked to, in my 20 years, 50, first thing they want to know, where's the water coming from? Do you have sewer systems? You have the electrical power. Electrical power we can always get. Sewer system you're not gonna have. You know, and a lot of them don't want to have septic systems in the back of a company and
Mm-hmm.
drill their own well. But that might have to be, but it's still a hindrance for us.
Yeah.
Because this town, especially downtown where it's gonna really start, there's so much ledge and stuff. You know, the numbers we got to put a septic, and that's a sewer system in there even 5-8 years ago. You know, it's unbelievable. So, we got hindrances, but we got good.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just embracing the good, you know, and not necessarily focusing a lot of our energy on the hindrances.
Well, I have a problem a little with the 20 grand, but I don't have a problem. Because I think, you know, somebody on this board watches it, it'll get spent in the right place. You know,
Mhm.
but it's a big number. And I worry about the old people, seniors, one person. You know, they're paying school taxes, you know, it's the taxes that they pay. You don't want to lose them either.
Mhm.
Because a lot of them, and I talked to a lot of them down there, saying, you know, it's kids, they might sell their house, which is still a plus for us, because they probably get a family in there maybe, or something, you know. But it scares the seniors when you talk about stuff like that.
But one of the things the master plan focused on was that balance between preserving what we have, but growing so we don't die. You know, the
Mhm.
character and the natural beauty and all that, and the relative quiet and, you know, the peacefulness of it, preserve that, but then on the other hand, they also recognize that you have to grow or you die.
Well, the short-term rentals was the one that hurt a lot of little towns.
Mhm.
You know, they're talking about it here at the county,
Yeah.
but the short-term rentals, you know, they are bringing people in. And those people will spend more food money, more gas money while they're here. You know, on an average of a single, you know, us spend, I take a tank of gas, well, I go a lot of driving, but, you know, an average person. But it takes away nice houses for the young to buy. And move into the town. So
One of,
this- you know,
one of the consultants' suggestion that, I think it was LaBella, just did the county's master plan. One of their suggested solutions to short-term rentals is make the permits so expensive, short-term rentals will no longer be competitive. In other words, the permit would be $25,000 for a year.
I don't think that is why.
So nobody will buy them as a short-term rental. I know it's not practical.
Well, they
But it was an
could take
interesting
it to
thought.
court because you got. to
Price
go
out
on
the
an
short-term
average, yeah.
rentals.
Yeah, they'll just turn around and make them more expensive for people to come, and they just won't come.
Yeah. So in some senses, you're biting yourself.
Right.
I thought it was an interesting idea, though.
Mhm.
So, all right, so you only got the 20,000. But you don't have a person that's gonna be our, you know,
They will.
youth program director.
Well, we're not creating a youth program.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that point yet. It's just getting the money there so that it's in the budget for next year. We still have to decide if we wanted to have it. I mean, it sounds like we're kind of all on the same page with not setting up a separate town commission. But we haven't gotten there yet. We do have people in mind.
All right, if you have people in mind, then to me, the 20,000 is great. You take the 13 we give Hadley and add it to that, and we'll have a Lake Luzerne one. Not that, you can't be giving Hadley money, not that I don't wanna, they've done a good job over the years. But if we're gonna do more, then it'll also stay here.
Well, what it is Hadley, what we're giving to Hadley, they're geared toward the younger
like more of
preschool
a
up
play
to
type.
4th grade
Yeah, it's not, it's.
or 3rd grade.
Sport.
And this
No.
other is that the next age.
Yeah.
It's like from 4th grade to 12th grade. And then we have the seniors covered. Well, what about the in between? About that. We want
Don't pick on seniors, they had a tough life around here. You're all getting there, you know.
I'm not picking
I'm
them
gonna start coming
seniors.
here for lunch soon when I get out of here.
Well, you can come pick me and Jim up. We'll go bring
When
you.
I don't have any income, I'll start coming here for lunch for $3. No, it's just. I mean, that's about the only thing in the budget I think anybody's with debating, right?
Yeah.
The rest of it is.
That
pretty much-
was,
Yeah, I was fine with the rest of it.
Yeah, like I said, I talked to Colleen. Friday, was it? About a lot of the stuff, so the questions are answered. Do we have to, we have a resolution we have to do, right?
Yeah, I have a
What-
proposed resolution to move the 2026 tentative budget to preliminary and set the public
And
hearing.
we set a public hearing for that, and if nobody complains about the budget, then we can vote on it.
You ready to do that?
But I think you can still add that line on the front, right?
We
Okay.
can still change it.
Can you do that at the public hearing? You can adopt the budget at the public hearing? If you wanted to.
can. Yeah, you don't, because it'll be a special meeting.
Be a
Yeah.
special meeting for people who come in about concerns about the budget. Now, if you have 5 people here, you get 8 questions, it's going to be tough to answer them all and figure it all out and then pass it that night.
Mhm.
You know, and it hasn't happened for the last few years.
However. We did ask, I can't remember who we asked at some point. If you have the public hearing and pass it, and then have to change it, you can still change it without another public hearing.
I don't know about that.
About, that's a lunch.
Well, if you found out.
I know we asked that before.
Sound logic, if you're gonna change it, and you might have.
It would
people
have
that-
to be done through a certain process. You can't just change it. I think,
Yeah,
I don't know. I'd like to read whatever that is that you had.
I think it was town attorney, but
Okay.
I'm not sure. It was a couple of years ago.
Well, I have a email into the Association of Towns, legal department. And I could ask that question
Yeah, okay.
because hopefully I'll get a response
The attorney for them that's in all,
thing. There is a Karen there, but legal questions, I believe, are Laura.
yeah, the one that I typically correspond with, she's the chief in the Albany office. She responds really quick, usually within a day.
Yeah, I sent it to the general email,
Okay.
so, what I did was I sent them the questions about, instituting a garbage fee. And questions about all that. So,
You know who we're talking about?
Mhm.
Association of Towns. I've met her a couple times.
yeah,
So were you talking about making revisions to the budget after the public hearing?
yes,
You can.
before it's adopted or after
Right,
it's
so
adopted.
on the budget calendar, step 7, the public hearing is held. Step 8, final revisions to the preliminary budget are made. So you can make revisions. to the
Before they
budget, and then
adopt it.
it's number 9, it's adopted by the governing
well,
board.
that's the idea, in case some people,
So you don't have to go back. and
Somebody
have
might
another
wanna put
public
more in.
hearing.
We don't, okay.
so that was that was lunch.
I owe you lunch, Jim. I'm talking about after adopted, though. That's what we were talking about.
If we adopted it at the public hearing and then somebody wanted to make revisions, that's what you were
Once
talking
it's
about.
adopted, it's adopted.
That's it,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that would tend to support, probably we shouldn't adopt it at the public hearing. Just so we can make sure the dust settles a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we have to see how the public hearing goes.
Yeah, we,
Yeah.
public hearing and
Yeah.
nobody has any questions or
Objections.
concerns. or
And there might not be any
objections.
reason to hold off.
Right.
Try to get it over with.
So before we make the resolution, I just want to give you some dates here. Because Councilman Morton, you were wanting to have that before you went out of town, is that correct?
Yes,
And when are you leaving?
November 3rd through the 10th and 16th through the 23rd.
3rd to
Okay.
the 10th, and what was the last one?
16th through the
Well,
23rd.
it has to be within that November 3 through 10 anyway. Okay, so. In order to get it in the paper for Tuesday, a week from today, the deadline is Thursday. I'm talking about the public hearing notice. Okay,
Mhm.
so that will work, and then. It has to be in the paper 5 days, or it has to be posted 5 days prior, I'm sorry. So that time would run the 21st through the 25th of October. Then you could have your hearing. Let me just pull my calendar up, make sure I'm saying this right.
Now, right now, we have a board meeting scheduled for the 21st, right?
Yeah, but you can't have it there because it has to be posted in 5 days must elapse between the time it's posted and you have the hearing. So the next possible time to have it would be the 27th through the 31st of October.
Today's the 14th, that would be,
It is. But I can't get it in the paper until a week from today.
oh.
Yeah.
Can't get it in, you can't post it until a week from today?
It will not publish
Okay.
until a
Okay,
week from
okay.
today. That's correct.
That's our wonderful, we'll start.
Yeah. I have their schedule right here. I brought it in with me because of this. So then after the time lapse of the posting, then you're into the week of the 27th through the 31st.
Mhm.
So you guys can decide one of those days, when you want to do it.
So, okay, let me just recap this. So we have, the agenda meeting is scheduled for the 21st.
Correct.
Can we move our agenda meeting to the 28th and do? For that
Yeah,
one
but
thing?
then
or-
you've only got a few days before your regular meeting. It's kind of really tight there. I think, let me see, 23rd.
Well,
Well,
the November meeting would, I think we
We've done-
agreed the 5th, which is the day after election day.
right. But Councilman Morton would like to do it while
We-
he's still
Can we
here.
push our regularly scheduled meeting back a week? If we did this one. We combine the agenda meeting with the public hearing. The 27th through the 31st. And then just pushed our regular meeting back.
Is there a reason why you guys don't want to do it the week of the 27th through the 31st, one of those days?
No, that's what I'm saying. If we did it,
And just combine it with the agenda meeting.
combine it with the agenda meeting on the 28th.
So
Move
not
the
have,
agenda meeting to the 28th.
Yeah.
is what you're saying?
don't
Yeah.
have an agenda meeting on the 21st.
Right.
And if that's too close to our normally scheduled meeting, just push that meeting back a little
To
bit.
the 11th. I wouldn't, yeah,
Yeah,
well, the
but-
11th is Veterans Day, so we'd have to go to the
12th.
next. 12th.
I would say do the 28th and leave the 5th as is.
We can, I mean, that's.
I mean, we're having so many meetings in October,
Yeah,
stuff is not
Every week
piling
we're
up on
having-
it, on
Mhm.
the agenda.
That's a full week. Yeah, I guess we can make that work. So you want to change the agenda meeting from the 21st to the 28th and hold the public hearing at that meeting, is that correct? Okay. So,
so that's the agenda meeting. That would be at 4 o'clock, right?
correct,
Um,
at 4. Okay, so now.
let's talk about that just for a second.
Okay.
Let's talk about the time. I got a text from somebody complaining about important meetings being at 4 o'clock when people are working.
Oh, who said, I know who said
I know who
that, I
said it.
got one too.
You wanna talk about it or not?
That's up to you.
I've said all I wanna say.
It's an agenda meeting. It's not the board meeting. The
Right,
board
it's
meeting at
just an
7 o'clock.
Yeah,
We're talking agenda meeting. There's a difference.
yeah, but the public hearing is gonna be at that meeting.
I don't have a problem, whatever time you want to do it on.
I don't have a problem at
28.
4 o'clock.
We can set two different times, right? So like a 4 o'clock agenda, 6 o'clock. I think it's important to have
We want people to be able to
specifically
be
for
here
the
for
budget
that
meeting.
Why don't you change the time of the meeting just for that,
Yes,
That's what I
mean.
mean. Yeah,
instead of having two
That's what he
separate
means.
times?
Yeah, last time we did 2 separate times, we had an hour in between where we were twiddling our thumbs.
yeah.
Okay,
So maybe push it back till. An agenda meeting should only take an hour, right?
Mhm.
Push that back till 6. And then start the other one at 7.
Just start the whole thing at 6.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
it, but just figuring that it's probably gonna be about 7 o'clock before
Well,
before what?
usually
we
you
hit
do
the
the public,
budget. Public hearing.
usually you do that first, so
We-
it's.
Yeah,
Oh, you do
at
that.
a time.
Okay.
And the meeting will continue on. It'll be the first thing on the
It'll be
agenda.
the
for
first thing on the
agenda
agenda, the
meeting.
public hearing.
Okay, yeah,
Okay, so we have to do two things. We have to do a resolution to change.
October
To-
agenda meeting.
Change. October agenda meeting. From. October 21st. To October 28th
At 6 p.m.
at 6 p.m.
Right.
Yeah.
And then,
good for that, boss? He nodded for the record.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You gotta
okay, so
make a
first, let's
resolution
make
anyway.
that resolution.
All right.
So do we have a motion?
hold on 1 second,
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking, I'm trying to think ahead here. Thanksgiving week. Would be our. Next scheduled. Agenda meeting. Or would be the scheduled agenda meeting,
The
21st is.
or the 21st is.
That's lumbering, cancel
No.
We're talking.
I'm talking November, you're talking October.
The agenda
Seven
meeting in
seconds.
November is the 18th.
It's the 18th,
Yes.
Yeah.
okay,
The
All right.
4th and the 18th.
I just,
All right.
that's fine, yeah, I wanna be clear that I'm not gonna make either meeting in November. The way that's set
Are
up,
we that lucky?
I'm just letting you know, I'll be here for the public hearing for the budget, but
We don't see you again till what, Christmas?
no, I'll be there. First meeting in December.
Okay, so you're just not gonna make the November.
Yeah, I was,
Okay. Which that doesn't affect any of this.
my thoughts were if the agenda meeting was gonna be, or my concern was if the agenda meeting was gonna land on the week of Thanksgiving.
No, I don't.
It might
think
make
so.
sense to just. For the month of November, since we're already having a
We got
later
a
October
calendar,
meeting,
yeah.
have one in the middle of the month.
Oh, you got it on
It's the week
something.
before.
Yeah.
What are your dates gone again?
I'm going the 3rd through the 10th, 16th through the 23rd.
Let me see when Thanksgiving is real quick. Hold on.
27th.
It is. Okay, I thought it was that following week. Okay.
Okay, so we can do. Cancel the 21st of this month.
Yeah, we're just gonna change it from the 21st to the 28th at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
All right, let me write that. Oh, you're gonna send us out.
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Okay. Proposed resolution to move the 2026 tentative budget to preliminary and set the public hearing for October 28th at 6 p.m. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I had it written here at 4. All right, you're making it 6.
They want to go at 6.
Okay.
Just to accommodate.
All in favor?
That suggestion.
Aye.
Aye.
Hearing none carried. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Oh, well, don't be so quick.
Well, I didn't advertise anything else. So
Is that on the agenda?
Go ahead.
No, I
If
just
it's
wanna
not
make sure
there, then
everybody's
it's
okay
fine.
with the rest of the budget. I mean, because I know. You guys had questions about garbage, maybe get rid of it, go to private sector.
That's a work in progress.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
that's
you
gonna
gotta
take
have to
time.
do something with the budget before you do that.
Right.
So, but this year it's only gonna go up $6,600.
Yeah, we talked about it and we wanted to make sure whatever decision was made, we gave notice. So I think we should have serious discussions for the first, well, starting as soon as possible. And throughout the first quarter of next year, so that if we do plan on doing something, we have that decision made by the end of the first quarter in 2026.
Started in 26 after the, no. follow-
Let's make a decision by the first quarter so that,
That's all right, I'm
Yeah.
just making sure.
so that whatever decision is made,
Start,
there's 9 months
yeah,
for people to make adjustments, or, yeah,
Or sooner.
yes, more preferably sooner, yeah.
Yeah, cause I was thinking if you, depending on what you guys end up doing, if we do end up doing the fee. The best time for that to get billed out is like April, mid-April. Because then May we have SW2, June we have meter reading and SW1. So,
Mid-April of 2027
oh, another year.
is what you're talking, yeah.
No, I wasn't thinking that, okay. I was thinking that was something you guys were trying to do
Wow.
quickly.
Yeah, we're getting off on a important tangent. How hard would it be to do it midstream?
Difficult,
Mm,
Okay,
because you got people walking in every minute to pay what's already out there. And you wanna give them time to pay. So, just like you do the water.
yeah,
Yeah, I think whatever decision made, we need to allow enough time to let everybody know exactly what's going on.
so then it might end up being, if we implement it, a year from April.
Yes,
Might be, and it would be nice to have a full board.
Yeah.
That's gonna have to be facing it.
okay.
That's true. Okay. You got anything else?
I'm good.
Good.
Well,
All the
That's what I-
resolutions done?
we're done?
Yeah, motion to adjourn,
I'll say that.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I thought that was something you guys were gonna try to figure out for 2026, so I was trying to figure out the best time for us to